Okay, so in today's video, we're going to go over my travel credit cards and rank them from worst to first. And this video is a response to a challenge issued by my man Sledge from the Sledging team, who challenged other creators to rank their travel credit cards. And I've been watching these videos by multiple creators, and they are tons of fun because you get to see each creator's thought process behind their rankings, so it's a great way to see different perspectives. We're all familiar with travel credit cards and their specific benefits, but it's the context where we can learn the most from. And so today I'm going to rank my travel credit cards and tell you why I rank them the way that I did. Now, before we get into that, I want to define what a travel credit card is for the purposes of this particular video. And to help illustrate this, let's take a look at my entire credit card portfolio. You can see that I have 18 total credit cards, and there's a mix of cashback cards as well as point earning cards, both with and without annual fees. Now, my American Express Gold Card and Business Rose Gold cards both earn membership rewards points and could be considered travel credit cards for this reason. But I don't really consider them as travel credit cards since I don't use them for travel, even though they earn points that could be used for travel. The same can be said for my Barclay Card Arrival Card, which earns miles, but because of how these miles are redeemed, this is essentially a cashback credit card. So the way I define a travel credit card is a card that I use for travel spending or for benefits that are specific to the travel category, for example, lounge access and elevated hotel status. And so with that in mind, the cards that we'll be ranking today are the US Bank Altitude Reserve Card, the American Express Platinum Card, the Chase Ritz Carlton Card, the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant and Bonvoy Business Cards, the Bilt Mastercard, the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite Credit Card, the American Express Hilton Honors Business Card, and the Chase United Gateway Card. So now that we have our 9 credit cards selected, let's get started with card number 9, which is the Chase United Gateway Card. Briefly, this card gets you 2x miles back on United purchases, gas stations, local transit, and 1x points back on everything else with no annual fee and no foreign transaction fees. Now for me, this card is functionally useless as an actual credit card at this point, but I keep it around for 3 specific reasons. The first reason is that it's one of my older credit cards with about 7 years of credit history. The second reason is that it has a very high credit limit of $40,000. Now I could transfer this credit limit to another card, but the only issue is the only other personal Chase card that I have is the Chase Ritz Carlton card, which has its own credit limit of $38,500. And although I could transfer the $40K limit to the Ritz Carlton card, this doesn't mean that I should. If I were to have a card with a $75,000 credit limit and for whatever reason Chase decided to close that credit card, that would be a huge blow to my total credit limit. So I feel better splitting that limit over 2 separate cards. And the third reason I keep this card around is for the clear discount. Now, if you're a United credit card holder, you're eligible for a $40 discount on your clear membership, dropping that price from $189 per year to $149 per year. And the entire clear annual fee is covered by my American Express Platinum card. But still, it's nice to get a discount when you can. So for all of those reasons, this is my worst travel credit card. And so next up is card number 8, and that's going to be the Hilton Honors Business Card. Now this card is a great card that comes with a decent sign-up bonus, a free night reward after $15,000 in spend, Hilton Gold status, and 10 Priority Pass visits for a $95 annual fee. Now I don't stay at many Hilton properties, but about a year ago there was a sign-up bonus that caught my eye. And this sign-up bonus offer was for 130,000 Hilton Honors bonus points after spending $5,000 in purchases in the first 3 months, as well as a free night reward after spending $10,000 in purchases in the first 6 months. And since I had already spent $10,000 on the card for the bonus, I went ahead and spent an additional $5,000 on the card, not only completing the sign-up bonus offer, but also getting that extra free night reward as well. But now that I got the bonus, and I don't really stay at Hilton properties very much, this card is just sitting around waiting to be canceled, which is why it's ranked number 8 on this list. And that brings us to card number 7, which is the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite Credit Card. This card has some pretty powerful categories if you're at the Platinum Honors tier with Bank of America, earning 3.5x points back on travel and transit, 3.5x points back on dining, and 2.625x points back on everything else. This card also has a unique redemption benefit where your points can be redeemed for 1.25 cents per point when redeeming them on the Bank of America travel portal for airfare. And so my plan for this card was to earn points using these elevated multipliers, especially that catch-all category at 2.625x, which is the highest that I'm aware of, and then redeem these points on the Bank of America travel portal for that 1.25 cent per point redemption. But here was the problem with that plan. Even though I'm a frequent domestic traveler and travel multiple times a month, a lot of this travel is already provided by my employer. And I've realized that even though I travel a lot domestically for business, I don't really travel that much when it comes to personal travel. And on the occasion that I do travel for personal reasons, I typically use credits or miles to make that purchase, starting first with flight credits that have expiration dates, followed by airline incidental credits because those also expire, and then followed by points. And with my current credit cards right now, I have about $800 of airline incidental credits that I use every year for incidentals, but sometimes also for personal travel. On top of that, since I travel on Southwest for business, I earn a lot of Southwest points just from traveling on the airplane itself, and so I could use those points to redeem for free flights when I can. And because Bank of America's travel portal doesn't include Southwest Airlines, I often choose to just fly Southwest over the other legacy carriers since it's just more convenient in my situation. So since I can't use this redemption benefit as much as I had hoped, I plan on replacing this card with the Bank of America Premium Rewards card, which will drop my annual fee by about $450 while still maintaining the same elevated multipliers. And that brings us to the next 3 travel credit cards on this list, which are my Marriott Bonvoy credit cards. And for me, I typically stay at Marriott properties because they have the largest global footprint and I've had great experiences staying at their properties. And starting at number 6 is the Marriott Bonvoy Business card. So with all of my Marriott Bonvoy cards, they all earn 6x points when used at Marriott properties, so it doesn't really matter which one I use. But the benefit of using the Bonvoy Business credit card for Marriott stays is that it offers a 7% Marriott Bonvoy room rate discount. Of course, this card comes with a $125 annual fee, but it also generates a $35K free night award every year, so that makes this card a keeper card as I can always get value from that free night. But this is not as valuable as the next Marriott card on this list, which happens to be card number 5, and that's going to be the Chase Ritz Carlton card. And the reason why this credit card is next is because of 2 reasons. First, I use this card to generate an annual $85K free night award. Of course, this card comes with a $450 annual fee, so using the $300 travel credit to offset this is pretty important as well. And second, this is also the card that I use for my Priority Pass, because this Priority Pass is very similar to the one that you find on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and that's because this Priority Pass can be used as restaurants as well as lounges. So out of all of my travel credit cards with the Priority Pass benefit, I use the Priority Pass on this card so I have full flexibility when it comes to the Priority Pass network. And so now it's pretty clear that card number 4 is going to be the American Express Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card, which has a serious annual fee of $650. Like I mentioned before, I don't use this card at Marriott properties because I typically use my Bonvoy Business card instead. But in typical American Express fashion, this card comes with a $25 monthly statement credit for worldwide restaurants. But there are 2 main reasons why I rank this card at the top of this list for my Marriott credit cards, and that of course is due to its 2 flagship benefits. The first benefit is the automatic Platinum Elite status in the Marriott Bonvoy program, and this is the one that's the most beneficial because this is the level where you can take advantage of the breakfast offering, which varies by brand. And since I stay at Marriott properties often, I can take advantage of this benefit as well as other benefits for the Platinum status, such as early check-in and late checkout. And the second benefit on this card is an $85K free night award each card member anniversary year, which is nice because now I can have 2 of them if I couple that with the one on the Ritz Carlton card. So even though this card has a $650 annual fee, the Platinum status and the $85K free night award benefits make this card well worth it. And if you can value the $300 dining credit and bring the effective annual fee down to $350, this card is a great value for those of you Marriott loyalists like myself. Okay, so now we get into the top 3 travel credit cards, and these cards are all part of my core credit card setup. These are the cards that I use regularly and frequently, whether it be for the multipliers or for their specific benefits, and card number 3 is going to be the Bilt Mastercard. And this card has replaced the American Express Gold card as my primary restaurant credit card, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, this card has no annual fee and gets you 3x points back on restaurants compared to the American Express Gold card, which gets you 4x points back at restaurants for a $250 annual fee. Of course, the Amex Gold Card has those monthly statement credits to lower the effective annual fee, but because I'm so burned out with these statement credits and I don't really use membership rewards points as much as I should, in my situation, the Bilt Mastercard is a much better alternative. And the way I use this card pairs nicely with the fact that I need to use the Bilt card at least 5 times each statement period to earn points. By naturally using this card when I dine out, I find this to be an easy way to complete that requirement, as this card is in my wallet at all times for those instances where I'm dining out and need to use a physical credit card. Of course, we can't forget that this card also earns 1x points back on rent, and all the points that I earn can be transferred to some high value transfer partners such as American Airlines and World of Hyatt. And the next card coming in at number 2 is the US Bank Altitude Reserve card, which may come as a shock to a lot of you since US Bank doesn't have any transfer partners. But let me explain why this card made it to the spot that it did. Since I got this card a few months ago, I've been using it non-stop, and it's because there are so many places that take mobile wallet purchases. And even though this card acts more like a cashback credit card, I consider it to be a travel card because I also plan on using this card for general travel. The card has an annual fee of $400 and comes with a $325 annual travel and dining credit, which was incredibly easy to use and get value from, bringing that effective annual fee down to $75. In terms of the multipliers, I use this card for 3x points back on mobile wallet purchases, as well as 3x points back on travel. But it's important to know what this travel category covers because it's not as comprehensive as other credit card issuers. And the travel category on this card covers airlines, hotels, car rentals, taxi cabs, limousines, passenger trains, and cruise lines. But what makes this card so valuable to me is the ease of redeeming the points that I earn through real-time rewards. And by redeeming my points to cover travel purchases in this way, my points are redeemed at 1.5 cents per point, elevating my earnings for mobile wallet purchases and travel to an effective 4.5x multiplier. And so that leaves one more card on this list, and it may come to no surprise to any of you that my top ranked travel credit card, or should I say charge card, is none other than the Big Daddy American Express Platinum card. Even with its $695 annual fee and multiple statement credits, this card continues to be my top pick when it comes to the most beneficial travel credit card that I own. Now, from a spending standpoint, I only really use this card for 5x points back on flights and 5x points back on FHR properties, as well as to get value from the multiple statement credits. But what I would consider to be priceless on this card is access to American Express's Fine Hotels and Resorts program, as well as access to the Centurion Lounge network. Now, in my situation, as the American Express Escape Lounge in Sacramento is one of my most frequented lounges, this card is a must in my setup. Likewise, this card also gets me into the Aspire Lounge in Ontario Airport, which is my home airport, so this card comes in handy for that as well. And as a frequent visitor to Las Vegas, I love having the Fine Hotels and Resorts program specifically for this purpose, to have access to great benefits and amenities during my visits to Sin City. And so those are my travel credit cards ranked from worst to first. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with my rankings or not, and definitely let me know if you disagree, because I'm always interested to hear other points of view, because that's how we all really learn, and I'm always wanting to improve my credit card setup overall. And if you want to know exactly how I'm using my credit cards for the fourth quarter of 2023, check out this video next.